I was in AMD yesterday, by the way. I had a nice trade in AMD yesterday. It was fun. It was a really good trade. And I told you guys, you know, got rid of Bank of America, and I just been kind of playing with a few. AMD.
Coach Tony, I have a question. If you stop trading at 10, would you go back at any point? Say if you looked at the screen and it just looked appealing, would you go back and trade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if I see my setups, it's hard for me to, you know, if I look up there and I go, you know what, man, there's like $1,600 coming down the road right there. Look at that. Look at that. 100% retracement rate candle right there, man. The 20, man, I'm gonna take that. Okay. But yes, the short answer is yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah.
Andy, who Zay? Okay, what's
Yeah,
up?
Mr. So all right, so the first initial, it went up through the trap zone, so I wouldn't take that. Then I seen up top how weak the candles were, and that top and tail up top, that
let me just do this real quick.
All right.
Let's get us all set up. All right, cool. Actually, I'm gonna take I should have came about right there. But that's okay.
So me looking at AMD right now, I'm seeing it going up through the trap zone, and then I seen it had that retracement. Then that topping tail green one right there. Yeah, so I seen that, and I seen the following candle, but the red one. So I'm like, all right, I got in right there on shorts.
Okay.
Since, you know, it's still early, so I ain't literally looking at the 22 much, you know what I'm saying? Since it's still like 10 o'clock around that time. So I got in, but when I got in, I'm thinking, all right, the retracement to the 200, you know, that's when I started cutting my profit, because I'm thinking a bounce up. But as you see, it gave you another 5 candles before it went through.
Oh, you didn't get this right here?
Nah, not with everything. Nah, I've cut most of it at the 200.
So okay, so you thought that we might get a bounce off the 200? Is that what?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's why I cut most of it. Yeah.
So,
since it went through the trap zone already, you know what I'm saying, that which is pretty strong. And then I'm just thinking it might just be a little retracement, and then we head back to the other side.
So Zay, you know, in the course, what do we call that candle? Because I know we're just talking about it now, but what do we call that candle?
We ignored it.
Green candle.
GCI, right?
I'm sorry.
Green candle
ignored.
Green candle ignored.
Yeah.
Just stock's taking a breather.
Yeah.
And then it took back off.
Would you also buy more shorts at that point too?
Yep.
That's your, I would probably buy it in this candle here. Somewhere in this candle on the opposite side of the 200. I probably wouldn't have took it right here though, Iman. I'd have been a little nervous about taking it there myself. But once it got in there, I'd have been like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in here, I definitely would have got down. Right near, I would have been a little hesitant, but once, and it probably moved, because that's a pretty impressive candle. Wouldn't you guys agree? I mean, that's a decent candle right there. And definitely coming off of that GCI, that's a, you know, you're going to get some follow through with that candle. That's not your neighbors. That's big money right there. Yep. So Zay, did you take off the entire position?
Yeah, Mr. Tony, I jumped out.
Okay.
Was it shares or options?
I trade options.
Okay.
How many contracts did you have going on there? If you don't mind, I mean, you ain't got.
Oh no, I don't mind. Right now, Mr. Tony, I'm getting either one or two. I try to get at least two. So if I see, you know what I'm saying, any type of retracement, I could at least hold one to see if it's going to break or.
Okay. Because you know that's it. Because remember, I said you can make up to about 70% more money by leaving that runner in there just to see what happens, because that runner follows through and then you get that. You know.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, we got to look at everything. We've talked about it. You know, there's that green candle, ignore it. GCI, right? That single candle, single red candle on the way up, single green candle on the way down.
I love runners.
Hey, we're getting a bunch of them right now, but do you notice how dramatic and I mean, they're going in either real big candles, or you're getting a long run like you see over here where you got, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, was that 8 candles, 7 or 8 candles? We're getting runs like that, or we're getting these big ones. Bam, 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 bam. You know, we're seeing a bunch of those. So we got to be aware of what's going on. Hey, Zay, great recognition right there. Awesome. Awesome. That right there, you got to know something is up. Man, I'm away from my 20.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I seen that right between that top and tail. I like, and then that red candle retraced that whole last candle. I was like, okay, yeah. Let me get a little bit in.
Let me just put my toes in. All right. See if the water's warm. Okay. The water was definitely warm. What it was doing. Well, you know what? Again, that's why we're doing this stuff. So we can get better. You know, the recognition, for the most part, your recognition, you guys, it's getting better. Now it's just that time. You just need the time in the trade. You need the time in the chair. You got to have that time in there so you can recognize these things and then not be afraid to go ahead. Hey, man, I'm going to take the trade. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put my stop in there and I'm going to take the trade. Or I'm coming down this candle. Here's my reason. I'm putting the stop in right there. And then I'm going to wait and see what the market does.
Yeah, question.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Tony, I think that if I recall, I understood that later in the day, you kind of go into a 5 minute instead of the 2 minute. But most of these runs are, 6, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, the run's done, right?
Yeah.
I tend to think about that, but I still stay with the 2.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts? Is that what you kind of do, is look at both of them, or you kind of hang with the 5 during the day?
So what I'll do, Ray, is I'll just come back like this during this middle portion of the session. I'll just swing up here and I'll just do like this, just so I can just get a little bit of a better feel. Oh wow, this thing is moving to the downside. Look at that. Wow.
Just take a peek.
Yeah, take a peek. And then, of course, what are we supposed to be doing, too, after the first hour?
The daily counter.
Oh,
daily
okay.
counter.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's green candle. Okay. All right. Cool. I just want to know, just give me some perspective on what's going on,
Got it.
Just give me some perspective. So, yeah, I guess we did get a lot of green moves up, big up. Man, look at the size of that candle. Went right up and just bang, right up against that 200 right there, huh? Look at that. Clean me up, clean up. Just right in there. Look at that green candle. And then here, let me show you something too. I mean, man, I could talk about this the whole night. Just going on. Okay, say you get a green candle like that up against that 200, and then you have a sell-off, right? This is going to tell you, and this going back to the pullbacks, on a healthy green candle here, the sell-off of these red candles will tell you how healthy this green candle is. Now, had this thing traded back, like right here, then moved up to there, you'd have said, okay, this thing got a chance. But look what it did.
Yeah.
Look what it did. It went from here down below that green candle. It took that whole green candle out, which meant that wasn't a really strong green candle.
No.
If it had stopped somewhere in here, somewhere in there, and then, okay, you know what, this thing probably got some upward, mobility. It's got a chance to move, but it took that whole green candle out. And that was an impressive green candle. I mean, that's not no little pooty pot green candle right there. You know, and
Mr. Tony, quick question, since you're right beside it. You
Sure.
see that bottoming tail right there, to your left, right above your 20? Yeah, that one right there. Would you have jumped in it, or you would have waited since it's right under the 200? But the 20's pointing down though. I already answered. Yeah, kind of answered it right there. I see the
what time
20.
was that? That was at 10:04. Yeah. Trade with the 20. We're under the 200. If you think about this, Zay, okay, I get a bottoming tail. It's right here on my 200. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But man, I need, give me a little bit. Show me something. Show me that. And when do I say the 200 is at its strongest?
When it's flat.
When it's flat. All them rules, huh? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you guys all those rules. But it's good to know, right? Now, can I put it all together while the stocks are moving? That's the experience part. I can't give you that part. That's the only part I can't give you. But did that make sense, Zay?
Sure did, Mr. Tony.
No, I just don't have enough room between here and here. I just don't got enough room, man. It's just, yeah, maybe you catch that candle, that's cool. But I think you want more than just that. I mean, it's not a bad move, but and if you're trading options, you want to be in the trade a little longer than that. It just ain't, it's just not the move. It's just not giving me enough. Can I show you the, I had the same, I traded this stock yesterday. I was in a slow boat to China boat ride in that thing yesterday. It was crazy.
Yeah, the slow boat to China.
Look at this.
I was in there too, Mr. Tony. When you entered.
As soon as I trade through that trap zone, hold on a second. I hate this part about my system. This is the only part about my system I do not like. Other than that, I really like my system. I really do.
There's got to be a way you can just go straight to the date.
It's got to be. I just, man, hey, you know what? I'm doing real good that we even see this stuff tonight. Thank God for Patrick. I'm telling you.
I'm going to figure that out for you, Mr. Tony.
I hope you guys do. Go in there, look under Sterling, okay? Where's my pen? Oh, that's a little fat. There we go. There you go, brother. Right underneath it. That's where you eat. I was like, oh, look at that. Look at here, look at here, look at here. And it just, yeah. Oh, this is the point I wanted to make tonight too. Okay, guys. Okay. Just got too much in here. I'm just, okay. Look, this is a point I wanted to really make. Thank you for bringing this up, Say. Okay. When you are traveling along and you're saying, wait a minute, did I get stopped out? No, I haven't gotten stopped out, little peekaboo or whatever. Or maybe I did get stopped out. But if you get stopped out, okay, on your 8, are you saying to yourself, I'm out if I'm right next to the 20? Or, because I'm going to give you guys this option. You always have the option, well, not always, it's up to your discretion, to hop over to the 20. If you're close, when you get stopped out, if you get stopped out and you're near the 8 and the 20, like it's really tight in there, like it's really tight down in there. If you get stopped out in this area right here, you got the option, if you want, to hop over to the 20. So you broke my 8, but you know what? I'm gonna hop over to the 20. And it's a little bit easier to do, believe me, it's a little bit easier to do when you get in up here. Because my P&L from here to here is pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. So if I decide, you know what, I think it might be a little bit more something in here, and it keeps playing around here. It ain't giving, it stopped me out here. I got two red candles, I had two green candles. Okay, two green candles right here that stopped me out. But I'm right here on this 20, man. We're so close. Okay. And I just stayed in. I said, well, wait a minute, man. I just want to see what happens. Then I got the two red candles. Oh, it's going to continue to go a little lower. Now I'm light here. I only got one lot, but I'm letting it run. And then I wound up getting a little bit more.
So when did you get out, Mr. T?
I actually got stopped out on this candle right here. I took my lumps right there. I could have gotten out down here. I don't know why I didn't. That's why I was telling you guys that, hey, count your candles, because I think I missed 5. Correct me if I'm not wrong, but I think I missed the 5 count there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not making this stuff up. I tell you, 3, 5, and 8.
It's just like magic.
I don't know why. I can't tell you the reasons why. I'm just telling you that it is. All right. So you do have that option. If you guys want to do that, especially if you got a good entry, you want to let your runner, if it's close, if the 8 and the 20 are close to one another, that they're like entangled here. But if they're close to one another and you decide, you know what, I'm going to jump over to the 20. I'm going to let this thing run a little longer and see what happens, you know.
But the operative word is light position.
Yeah. I think I had one lot. It was on one. I was in one lot at that particular time. Yeah, you don't want to give back. You don't want to give back all that. That was phenomenal. Yeah. I think, hey, Stedman, I think I went on your God, what do you call that thing?
Discord?
Discord, yeah. Thank you. And I said, hey man, I'm waiting for AMD. I'm waiting to stop out. I think I put in there. Remember I put in there, I think I'm waiting to stop out on AMD or something like that. I put in there. Because I was just waiting. I was just waiting at that point. It was kind of like in this range down there, and I was just waiting to see if it's going to stop out at some point. We got in here, and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to hop over to the 20 and see if it breaks the 20, then okay, cool. I get a legitimate break of the 20, then okay, I'm going to be good, you know, because I just, you know, I just didn't see enough green. These 2 green candles took me out, you know, but I left that runner in there, and I said, I'm just going to throw him over and I'm going to leave him on there and let's see if it breaks the 20. And then it did that. And I went, whoa. And I said, okay, cool. Let's see if we get a retracement back up into here, got back up into here. And then I was like, you know what? I'm out. I have been greedy all day long. And I think it was, what candle was, I can't even tell you what candle it was. It was one of these candles. I think it was this candle, one of these 2 candles, because I wound up giving back some of the money. All right, guys.
Very nice.
So yeah, you can use that crossover. And I meant to write that down there, and I was trying to think of that all night tonight too. Thank you, Zay, for bringing up AMD. And that's why I thought about it yesterday, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this up in the class tomorrow. I kept trying to think about it. Anyway. So and say that happened up here as opposed to down here, you still got that option, especially when you got a good entry. If your entry somewhere up there and it happens to, you know, you get a pullback and it pulls back up past your 8 into your 20, and they're narrow, like they were really close together, like the 8 was there and the 20 was like right there. And you say, well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it a little more chance, and I'm gonna hop over to the 20 And now I'm going to make my 20 my stop and make it break my 20. All right. Because then you might get, you might get more of that.
And at least the good news, by the way, just to mention to everyone, Mr. Tony did finish the course. I know we didn't mention it across before, but he's finally done with the course. And we do have some more stuff that's being added to it, actually, based on this particular class and how we're going through it. So he's added a few things into it that will still be searchable as well. So that way, I think it might be easier to use the search function that you have right now, and it will be pulling all of that. So it's not going to be uploaded yet, just because there's a few more things that we still want to add to it. But he's finished the course. It's exciting. It's exciting to know that it took us a little bit, right, Mr. Tony?
Yeah, it took a little while. I had to go back and clean it up a little bit.
But yes,
I don't know.
he's done with it.
I'm going to be honest with you though, Pat. I really still think that the live version
It's still way better.
is better.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
people ask questions, and there's just more clarity, I think, than me just going through it. So you guys get the benefit.
You guys will be able to benefit. You guys benefit from the live version. The nice part about having the straight class would be more of, now we know exactly some of the questions, and we were able to sort of use those questions as a base points to now make the course a lot better. So that's where some of those things comes in.
And it's not as long.
Yeah, because now we know the question, so we can jump right straight to the point, take care of some of the different things there. Yeah.
That live version.
So I'm excited for you to release that one, to release the new one. But yeah, so this recording, we'll get this recording out for you guys as well, so you guys get to have this. And I know some folks are using the using that search functionality, but is it helpful at all? Being able to just easily look up what you need to find.
Absolutely.
Very helpful. Extremely.
All right, nice.
So trying to cut through all those hours and I know sometimes you just want a refresher on something that maybe a little bit not 100% on, and that's got to be helpful. To be honest, and I haven't even used it. I think I used it one time because I got to kind of know it. And I was like, oh, you know what? Did I put? I think it was on Gaps. That's when I did it. I was like, did I talk about Gaps?
And then you search for it.
Search for it? Man, there's no Gap. Oh my God, I never talked about Gaps. Oh my God. And
what I found too, when you do the search and you kind of search for a topic, the fact that it brings up multiple results under that same term, that you kind of learn about the same subject at different points about the subject to kind of get the comprehensive view of the topic. Because you're not just going to one, you got 5 different ones. So it's like 5 different conversations, 5 different kind of points.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Well, Patrick is fancy guy. He got all the, technology down and stuff, all that. Like I said, I'm like amazed that I'm even on a Zoom, that I'm doing a Zoom class. My wife will tell you, she's like, wow, you really growing up.
You're not
It's not too late.
I only laugh because I know she can say something.
Oh, Lord, it's something else. She's like, oh my God. We're going to have to call Channel 7 News and let them know that you figured out how to conduct a Zoom class, honey. Alert the media.
She is comedy.
Yeah, that point this morning, I made my point with you this morning, right? When I showed you the comment. Yeah, I was like, oh my, you were like, hey, that's cool. Hey, that's cool. And she's like,
no.
She gave me a long old list. I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, and speaking about the live class, I don't think I ever told you this, Mr. Tony, but one of the things you did in that live class is like a running joke in my family now. And it was that story you told about when you were somewhere and they served the best food and everything like that. And then the guys had to call the broker and he's like, get me out this tray. Get me out this tray. That you don't even remember it, do you?
I do not.
Oh my God. You're telling the story.
You did hit the high notes too, though. So I'll give you.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Okay.
It's like a running joke in my family now. It's like, get me out this tray.
Okay.
It's hilarious, man. You got to go back and see it.
I will have to go back and check that out, man. I got so many of them. My buddy. So my buddy Marcus, he used to work for Drexel Burnham Lambert. I used to go over to his place when I would get out, and I would go over, when the market closed, because they did junk bonds. He worked for Michael Milken. I don't know if you guys know any of these names. They probably don't mean anything. But he wound up going to jail for a long time for insider trading because they were doing junk bonds, which they were doing all these leverage buyouts with way back when. Anyway, back in the 90s.
Yeah, before Enron.
Yeah, before Enron. Okay, yeah, before Enron. Which, oh man, I remember listening. That's another conversation, and they were talking about. We were listening on the analyst call, and they were talking about virtual assets. And I remember sitting back in my chair, and I was like, "What the hell is a virtual asset?" I was trying to figure out. I said, "I think I'm pretty smart. I've been doing." And I wasn't. I'm still young in the game, but I was thinking, you know what? I've heard a lot of terms. I never heard of a virtual asset. What exactly is a virtual asset? Well, we went on to learn that, they were just running a big scam, so, yeah, I mean.
Oh, was that the precursor to NFTs? My bad.
Oh my God.
That's just wrong.
Man, I don't even want to get into that. I got some buddies that are big time on that one. Who knows on this crypto thing what's going to happen? Who knows? But I'll tell you what, I was able to, and who was that showed me how to get onto the crypto
Coinbase
with the trading view?
Oh.
Somebody was telling me in one of the rooms how to get
tradingview.com.
Yeah, and then you could go in and you can use the candlesticks as opposed to the line chart.
You sure can.
Yeah. And I just went in and I placed my my 8, my 20, and my 200. And right now, Bitcoin has the picture weakness.